From Daily Trust News Center, this is News Hour.
On News Hour tonight, presidential candidates sell ideas, woo supporters in states. Works Minister pledges completion of Abuja-Kaduna-Kano highways early 2023. General Theophilus Danjuma restates call for self-defense, says 2017 position vindicated. On the foreign scene, emergence of Meloni as Italy's first woman prime minister raises African migrants' fear. Hello and welcome to Trust News Hour. I am Medina Dauda Nadabu. APC presidential candidate Bola Tinubu has opened his party's campaign office in Kano as part of his 3-day official campaign visit to the state. Thousands of party supporters across the 44 local government areas of the state turned out to receive him as he made his way to the state government house. Governor Abdullahi Ganduje, the party governorship candidate Nasiru Gawuna, and several other politicians received Tinubu. While commissioning the office, Bola Tinubu said he believes that his party is on the right track to win the 2023 elections with the support he is receiving in Kano.
As the candidate of the party, followed by numerous members of the Executive Presidential Campaign Council, I don't know how to pick them one by one. Just say thank you to them. I don't have the eyes from the back to really recognize everybody sitting behind me. So I won't look back. I'll look forward to Nigeria February. This party we see victory. This country, we experience progress. This office will be filled with joy come February 2023.
The presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, Atiku Abubakar, has promised to create state police to address the security challenges in the country if elected come 2023. Atiku made the pledge in Benin during the PDP presidential campaign rally in Edo State. He said he would restore security in the country by ensuring that there are equipped police personnel on the roads so that Nigerians can travel day and night and also go to their farms without any threat. He urged Nigerians to stay with PDP as they would benefit more from the party, noting that the APC has destroyed education, infrastructure, and the economy, among other sectors in the country. Others who spoke at the event were the vice presidential candidate Ifeanyi Okowa, National Chairman of the party, Iyorchia Ayu, Sokoto State Governor Aminu Tambuwal, as well as the Edo State Governor Godwin Obaseki. Youths in Lagos State on Saturday staged a peaceful rally to show support for All Progressives Congress APC presidential candidate Bola Tinubu and the party's governorship candidate in the state, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, ahead of the 2023 elections. The youths were seen with various APC paraphernalia, including brooms and flags, as they marched from Maryland on Mobolaji Bank Anthony Way to Police College via Ikeja, the state capital. The rally, organized by Tinubu's son, Sheyi, is tagged Eco Youth Work for Tinubu Shetima Sanwo-Olu Hamzat. The march saw a huge presence of scores of officers from the Nigeria Police Force, NPF, the Lagos State Traffic Management Authority, LASMA, and the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps. LASMA, in an advisory on Friday, announced the temporary closure of some roads in the state capital and adjoining areas to traffic on Saturday due to the march. Money is a major requirement in the execution of a successful political campaign, but there is always a big question mark on how these funds are sourced and what the intentions are for providing them. Chairman Dabeng interrogates the implications of money politics in Nigeria and how campaign funding impacts on the electoral process. The report.
The Electoral Act 2022 has clauses which are supposed to ensure that every party enjoys a level playing field during the campaigns. Section 88, subsection 8 of the Electoral Act provides that no individual or other entity shall donate more than 50 million naira to a candidate, while Section 90, subsection 3 prohibits a political party from accepting monetary or other contributions, which is more than 50 million naira, unless it can identify the source of the money to the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. But many political observers believe that the Independent National Electoral Commission is merely paying lip service to the clause, placing a cap on campaign funding.
Here, we do not have that contributory sense of pooling resources through the support base. Most of the time what we have individuals spending in their own money and their cronies. So what we have very fine letters in the law books, making all sort of restrictions and prescription as to source of funding and how much you should spend. We have what I would always call that supermarket mentality. We write about anything and we outlaw everything.
There are many that believe that the party primaries which produced candidates for the 2023 elections were marred by vote buying. If the same impunity plays out during the process of campaigns, especially as it pertains to funding, many believe that those that donated these funds could exercise undue influence on those elected.
For us to get the kind of democracy that we want, we would have to pay for it. What do I mean by paying for the kind of democracy that we want? It means that if we've seen a candidate that we like, if we like the things that he's saying, if we agree with his policies, his position, and where he wants to take the country to, then we should be prepared to fund his campaign. Because any time a candidate puts his hands in his pocket and pay for a campaign process, you should expect that when he gets into office, he's going to fund or replace all of those monies that he spent during campaign back to his pockets. But the only problem now is that he's going to do that at an interest rate that only he can determine.
According to both Kagbo and Buhari, the only way to stop the influence of money as a deciding factor in electoral processes is to fix the ailing economy that has caused financial distress to many Nigerians. Chamun Dabeng, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Labour Party's presidential candidate Peter Obi on Saturday visited Governor Duoye Diri of Bayelsa State in Yenagoa, the state capital, to sympathize with victims of floods in the state. The former governor of Anambra State, who earlier on Thursday visited flood-ravaged communities in Benue State to commiserate with victims, tasked the federal government to be proactive in mitigating the effects of devastating floods across the country. Obi also called on his counterparts in other parties to suspend their campaigns and join him to help victims of floods across states of the Federation. Floods have hit parts of Nigeria in the last 2 months, with the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, saying that about 2.5 million persons were affected and over 603 persons killed by flooding that followed torrential rainfall of late. The presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, Atiku Abubakar, will commence a tour of states with high incidence of flooding across all geopolitical zones in the country on Tuesday, his media advisor Paul Ibe has said. Ibe, who stated that the former vice president of Nigeria will visit Bayelsa State to kickstart the tour, said the tour becomes incumbent in view of the trauma that the incidents have caused its victims. The tour, according to Ibe, will provide the presidential candidate the opportunity to have an on-site impact assessment of these flooding incidents and give him a veritable window to input those ecological concerns in his policy documents. Labour Party's presidential candidate Peter Obi on Thursday called on his counterparts in other parties to suspend campaigns and join him to provide succor to flood victims across the country. Obi has since visited Benue and Bayelsa flood victims. According to the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, about 2.5 million persons have been displaced and over 603 persons killed by the flooding caused by torrential rainfall. Food and other items donated to victims in Yobe State by the Northeast Development Commission, NEDC, as part of humanitarian gesture to assist the people. The managing director, Mohammed Alkali, said the donation was in fulfillment of the Commission's commitment to the state during the Humanitarian Day celebration held in Borno State. Alkali said the Commission would also make another provision for the victims of flood in the affected states of the region.
Those of you who are in the on 18th of August in Borno State, when the President presided over the World Humanitarian Day, we made a commitment to provide succor to the Northeast as a humanitarian gesture, and to promise providing all the 6 states in the Northeast with some food item and no food item. And now we are pledging to concretize that promise. This is why we're here in Yobe today, to give them what we promised. And you have seen today, physically, you have seen we are giving Yobe State 10,000 bags of rice with some blankets, vegetable oil, and so on and so forth. And we're going to repeat the same thing in the other 5 states accordingly, in not very distant future.
Sailors along the River Benue in the Buruku axis have appealed to the federal government to construct a bridge linking riverine communities in the area. The appeal follows the rising loss of lives of passengers ferrying across the river, especially with the rising water level. The report.
According to the sailors, whose livelihood depends on water, it has been a terrible experience losing human beings and not finding their corpses for burial.
There was a burial across the river. People that were from Abuda, Mbadu, they were crossing to go for the burial. They were keeping precisely. So they were moving in the evening alongside the corpse. Mistakenly, an accident occurred. We lost about 28 persons.
But anytime government will promise that will come and do us a bridge here, we'll be very happy. At the end of the day, we will not see the bridge again.
Sailors alongside some community members often make attempts at rescue, as explained by one of them. But this is not enough, going by the traffic of people in some situations.
We, the people that are living around this community, we are the ones that move as fast as we can to rescue people that we can. There is no other way or other help that comes by the other side, neither from government or from anybody. We do it ourselves and rescue the people we are able to. By swimming and going there, picking up a small boat we call taxi to reach there immediately. We enter the water ourselves and search for the people. There is no help from any other corner that comes during the time of rescue.
It is for these traveling inconveniences that the residents and travelers along the route are calling on the federal government to construct the Buruku Bridge. This they believe will ease movement and improve the economic status of host communities and the hinterlands.
So there's much need commercially. There's very good need to mount a bridge here for our convenience.
If upon this bridge is constructed, people are going to be very, very happy. Because of this problem, many people who have died in Ogondo and other places because of the ferries.
The river connects northwest as well as northeast parts of Benue State. It is also a point of crossing for some commuters traveling to Adamawa and Taraba states in northeast Nigeria. No bridge has ever been constructed here.
The United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF, says over 1.5 million Nigerian children are at risk of waterborne diseases, drowning and malnutrition as floods hit over 20 of the 36 states in the country. UNICEF, in a statement on Friday, also said more than 2.5 million people in Nigeria are in need of humanitarian assistance, 60% of which are children. The floods, which have affected 34 out of the 36 states in the country, have displaced 1.3 million people. Over 600 people have lost their lives, and over 200,000 houses have either been partially or fully damaged. According to UNICEF's Children's Climate Risk Index, CCRI, Nigeria is considered at an extremely high risk of impacts of climate change, ranking second out of 163 countries. The Minister of State for Works and Housing, Umar El Yaqub, says work on the Abuja-Kaduna Highway and Zaria-Kano Highway would be completed early 2023 to reduce the hardship of commuters on the road. The minister made this known while inspecting construction of the highways in Kaduna. The report.
The minister explained that appreciable progress has been made on sections 2 and 3 of the project covering Zaria to Kano, but lamented the difficulties faced by commuters on the Kaduna-Abuja section. Despite the damage, commuters ply Durbi Bridge, but Rigachukun Bridge has been closed for long, with commuters spending hours in traffic due to the situation of the bridge. While inspecting both bridges, the minister said assessment of damages has been done for prompt action.
We had looked at the 2 damaged bridges in Kaduna, Rigachukun, and assessment has been done. The first one is the Rigachukun Bridge and the Dumbi Bridge. Assessment of the extent of the damage has been carried out by our ministry officials, and procurement process is going on so as to bring the contractor very soon to site so as to start work on that, on the 2 bridges. The first one, the Rigachukun Bridge, of course, as you have seen, only one of the dual carriageways is working now. The other one is completely blocked for traffic. However, the Dumbi Bridge is still good, it's intact. It's just that we are being proactive in ensuring that any weakness in that bridge is rectified.
On the 64.7 kilometer Zaria-Funtua road under construction, out of which 7.4 will be dualized, the minister said the contractor assured of delivery in 6 months.
Where we are standing, the contractor is doing the stone base, and he's finished on the other side, so it remains the wearing course. And the contractor has just confirmed to me that by next month, this road, this section of this road, where you have the 7 kilometer dual carriageway, will be finished.
And the work is progressing very well, and we have just like 13 kilometers to get over it. Yes, we have over 54 kilometers now on binder course, and the contractor is a serious one. They know their job, so it gave us less problem to supervise.
Other projects inspected by the minister in Kaduna include Kaduna Eastern Bypass, which has been under construction for 20 years. When completed, the project will boost economic activities, ease movement of goods and services, as well as help in the fight against insecurity. From Kaduna, Bello Musa, reporting for Trust TV.
You're still watching News Hour on Trust TV. Coming up after the break. Benefits of decorative herbal plants. Stay with us.
Nigerians, elections are here again. Let us shun violence. Let us play the game according to the rules. Do not be a thug. saying no to violence. Let's rise and defeat violence, crime, and sabotage against the peace of our nation. Nigeria is the only country we have. We must do everything to keep it united. We must avoid any act that promotes hate and disintegration, saying no to separatist movement, terrorism, fake news, hate speech, religious bigotry, and any act that tends to divide us as a nation. Watch out for strange gatherings and suspicious movements. Restrict access to sensitive documents and data, the disclosure of which may damage national security. Educate your staff and family, particularly on measures to safeguard information and report security breaches. Apply relevant legal security guidelines to protect yourself and your neighbors. Due to misinformation and wrong choices, some idle persons resort to vices in their greed to get rich quick. They resort to kidnapping, killings for rituals, and other heinous crimes. Avoid wrong use of the social media. Before you broadcast that false message, think twice. Ask whether it will promote peace or violence. For safety at home, still be security conscious. Educate your household on safety tips. Report all suspicious movements and persons to the security agencies nearest to you. Be a good citizen. Be patriotic. To pass security information, please call 0813-222-2105, 0915-339-1309, 0908-837-3514, or send a mail to dsspr@dss.gov.ng. This message is from the Department of State Services, DSS.
Trust TV, documenting the Nigerian story.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is News Hour on Trust TV. A recap of our top stories. Presidential candidates sell ideas, woo supporters in states. Works Minister pledges completion of Kaduna-Abuja-Kano highways early 2023. Moving to other stories, The police in Zamfara State have rescued 10 women and a 1-year-old child after a search and rescue operation at Gando Forest in Bukuyum local government area of the state. A statement by the command's public relations officer, Mohammed Shehu, explained the victims were abducted on Monday, 17th October, after a terrorist invaded Manye village in Anka local government area. It said the victims spent 3 days in captivity before the police rescued them. It also said that all the rescued victims were taken to the hospital for medical check, debriefed by police detectives, and handed over to their families. Former Minister of Defense Theophilus Danjuma on Saturday restated his call on Nigerians to defend themselves against armed foreign bandits terrorizing the country. Danjuma made the call at the official presentation of staff of office to the new Aku Uka of Wukari, Manu Ali in Wukari. Ali was appointed the new Aku Uka in 2021 by Taraba State Governor Darius Ishaku following the demise of Dr. Shekaro Angiu, who ruled for 45 years. According to Danjuma, his earlier call on Nigerians to defend their land against armed foreign bandits was taken for granted, and the result was clear for everyone to see. He said in 2017, a Kangaroo Commission of Inquiry was set up to investigate what he said was eventually dismissed because there was no evidence, noting, however, there is now evidence everywhere. Governor Ishaku, while presenting the staff of office to the Aku Uka, urged him to unite his subjects for a peaceful, prosperous kingdom and state. Ishaku congratulated Ali on his elevation as the supreme leader of the Kwararafa Kingdom, urging him to use his wealth of experience to attract peace and develop the state. Saad Abubakar, the Sultan of Sokoto, urged the youth of Wukari to listen to the Aku Uka for a peaceful election in 2023 and beyond. 2 people identified as Danjuma Adamu and Jafet Danjuma have been allegedly shot by personnel of the Nigeria Air Force, NAF, for resisting the demolition of a 2-bedroom flat at Barakallahu community, Igabi local government area of Kaduna State. Trust TV gathered that the victims are, however, receiving treatment at the Barau Dikko Specialist Hospital, Kaduna. The incident caused angry youth and women from the community to block the Kaduna-Zaria Expressway to protest the alleged harassment and intimidation by the soldiers, leaving travelers stranded for about an hour. It was also gathered that NAF personnel and men of Operation Yaki went to the area around 8 a.m. while the owners of the house were in church to demolish the 2-bedroom house. Eyewitnesses said the owner of the house immediately left the church after being alerted by his neighbors, only to find that the soldiers had already demolished part of his house. In the ensuing chaos, the soldiers reportedly shot both father and son. As at press time, it was still unclear why the house was demolished. Nigeria Army said it has neutralized 49 terrorists and 2 civilian JTF, and 9 soldiers lost their lives in 6 weeks of military operations against terrorists in Borno State. It also revealed that number of surrendered terrorists rose to 81,131 combatant and non-combatant fighters. The theater of Operation Hatinkai, Christopher Musa, disclosed that 2 Chibok girls with twin babies were rescued by troops of 7th Division during its operation in Bama local government. Major General Christopher Musa said, despite the challenges in the dry season, the Army will ensure it sustains counter-offensive against terrorists. He stressed that the Army will not deter in its mandate to restore peace and normalcy in the Northeast.
Just like we did during the rainy season. You know, before now, during rainy seasons, our operations normally go down. But this time around, if you observe, during the rainy season, we maintain the tempo, continuing. And then towards now, we're going to continue. We're entering the dry season, the Harmattan season. That also we are prepared. We are taking adequate measures to ensure that we deny them ability. Most of their movements now, if you notice, is they are looking for food and acts of criminality. They try to rob individuals to get money, to get food when they go to attacks, and that's what they are doing. So we are curtailing those things together with all the other security agencies.
On the 29th of September, Yana Pogo and her 4 children, 2 boys and 2 twin girls, were rescued at Mirari village in Bama local government area by troops of 21 Special Armored Brigade Bama during a clearance patrol in the general area. If you check the list of Chibok girls, she is on serial 19. In the same vein, on the 2nd of October 2022, Rejoice Sankey with her 2 children were rescued by troops of 222 Battalion in Kaori local government area. She is on serial 70 on the adopted Chibok girls list.
Nasarawa State Command of the Nigeria Police has confirmed the arrest of 2 suspects in connection with the assault of 20-year-old Blessing Matthias in Lafia, the state capital. The police confirmed the arrest in a tweet on Saturday, adding that the remaining suspects were still at large. Blessing was seen in viral videos being beaten and having her cloth cut with scissors by people believed to be family members. The victim had sometime last week confronted a daughter of a lecturer in one of the tertiary institutions in the state for trying to snatch her boyfriend, simply identified as IG. Giving an update on the alleged assault, police said 2 suspects have been arrested in connection with the case, while the vehicle used in conveying the victim to an undisclosed location where she was assaulted has been recovered. The Alaba International Amalgamated Traders Association Council of Sectional Heads has dispelled rumors that the recent crisis in the market is driven by politics of ethnicity and being reported. The public relations officer of the association, Mohamed Buba, who disclosed this, said the ugly incident that occurred on Wednesday was between some members of the Road Transport Employees Association of Nigeria, now called Parks Administration, and the traders in the market. Abbas Ibrahim now reports.
The crisis, which was said to have occurred as a result of multiple taxation and extortion of traders, motorists, and customers through illegal ways, claimed 3 lives and led to the closure of the market. Buba also disclosed that the market is known for playing host to multiple ethnic groups, adding that the crisis has no political nor ethnic undertone.
Alaba comprises 3 tribes and even other tribes. Even the West African people like Togo, Ghana, they are residing in Alaba, doing their business in Alaba. Alaba is a big market that comprises all the whole West Africa. So this thing is between marketers and agberos. Issue of saying it's indigo or political party or anything partisan is a lie. Among the leaders of the Alaba Amalgamated, we are law-abiding citizens and we are card-carrying member of APC. Like me, as I'm talking to you, I'm the zonal chairman of Alaba APC, and I'm its chairman and also the PRO of the whole Alaba Amalgamated. So issue of party is not party matter. It's matter of traders and the agberos. And this thing is too much. Even the layman they are called Kaya man is paying agberos money. So this thing is for all of us. It's for Hausa, it's for Yoruba, it's for Igbo.
The chairman, Alaba International Amalgamated Traders Association Council, Oruma Anthony, disclosed that lack of resolution of differences between the traders and the motor parks management fueled the crisis.
We have complained, like the president says, we have written letters, even to force headquarters, to DSSS, to every part of it, for them to call them to order. As we speak, nothing has been done.
The popular Alaba International Market is currently shut down, pending when issues are resolved. To this end, traders have urged the state governor, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, and Commissioner for Transportation in the state to wade in and resolve the lingering issue for businesses to thrive in the market. Abbas Ibrahim Alibi, Trust TV, Lagos.
Scrap dealers in Plateau State say the drastic fall in the price of scrap metals in the market has brought the business to a standstill in the state. This, they said, has persisted for the past 2 months as they continue to count losses occasioned by low patronage from buyers. Ado Musa completes the report.
Most of the used metal usually collected in the north are taken to the steel companies in Lagos for recycling. The business of scrap in the past decade was booming until recently when the price fell completely. According to the dealers, prior to the price fall, they bought a kilogram of the scrap at 250 naira to 300 naira and transport each to Ogun or Lagos and sold for higher price, adding that presently their selling price has crashed to 200 naira per kilo, a development that caused many of them to sell the metal at loss. The price of metal has fallen to the level that you must lose your money. What you are seeing behind me is 2 trucks of scrap. I bought a kilo at the rate of 300 naira, but it is sold in Lagos at 217 naira now. It may fall below this tomorrow. Some people have lost their capital. Last week, 2 trucks were on their way when I asked them to return because I realized that I will lose almost 4 million naira if they got to Lagos. Hussein Suleiman, another scrap dealer in Jos, said the price crash has made some to stop buying at the moment. When we are buying a kilo at the rate of 250 naira to 270 naira, the price was also good in Lagos. Now everything has changed. Even if it is 50 naira per kilo, we can't buy now because I don't have the money. This is what we are going through. For Muhammadu Rabiu Kura, the fall has caused many to lose their jobs, especially laborers that work for them. The price fall has rendered many jobless. Many people are earning their daily income from the business. But that is not possible now because we have stopped buying. Since the beginning of September this year, the dealers said they stopped buying scrap as the price offered by steel companies is not currently encouraging, adding that there is no clear reason as to why the price continues to fall.
Horticulture can help contribute to building sustainable livelihoods, improve incomes by providing urban populations with crops such as fruits, vegetables for consumption, and plants for ornamental purposes, while contributing massively to landscaping. The flower and decorative plants industry is experiencing a gradual boost, especially in Nigeria's capital city, Abuja, where cultivators, event planners, flower shop owners are harnessing financial and health benefits. Trust TV's Aisha Salihu reports.
Maintaining a balance within the ecosystem ensures proportionality of existence for every organism in the environment. This applies to the sustainable production, maintenance, marketing and cultivating of plants in gardens to produce food and medicinal ingredients or for comfort and ornamental purposes. But Timothy E.J., who has been in this line of work for over a decade, says sourcing, nursing and cultivating these plants is labor and capital intensive. This is because of vast variety of plants and flowers and the different purposes for which they are used.
Me that is doing this business, we know the people that I import them from abroad normally buy it from them. So when they bring it, they were like this. I think one is around 4,000, 5,000, depending on the dollars. So I buy it 5,000 each. So I come and transplant it. When I plant it, plant is all about the sizes. Once it grows, the price increases. We have some plants are herbs. Some are just for decoration. We have a golden palm. We have a tuja, which is called Christmas tree. We have a anglomania. These are indoor. Those that buy flower, those are the people that build houses, estate, and the individual that have houses. So they come to buy, patronize us. When they come, they are the ones that even appreciate us.
He acknowledges the health benefits associated with plants and the profitability of the business.
Although it's for decoration, but it's the main purpose. When you have plants around your house, you are having a healthy environment. Sometimes they rent and they return it. And some of them buy and keep it by themselves to maintain it.
The horticultural business in the FCT is highly lucrative, hence an untapped gold mine capable of creating employment opportunities to many while beautifying, purifying the environment, removing toxic air pollutants, and replacing them with pristine oxygen for humans and animals to thrive. Aisha Salihu, Trust TV News, Abuja.
This is Trust News Hour. We'll be back after this break. Welcome back to News Hour on Trust TV. Mombasa-born author Khadija Abdallah Bajaber's novel, The House of Frost, has won the 2022 Ursula K. Le Guin Prize for Fiction. The 9 shortlisted books were chosen by the Ursula K. Le Guin Literary Trust following a public nomination process. The prize is an annual $25,000 cash prize given to a writer for a single work of imaginative fiction. It is intended to celebrate writers who Ursula spoke of in her 2014 National Book Awards speech. Realists of a larger reality who can imagine real grounds for hope and see alternatives to how we live now. South Africa's graft accused former President Jacob Zuma on Saturday accused his successor, Cyril Ramaphosa, of corruption and treason following a cash heist scandal at the latter's farm. The divisive politician's accusations came just months before the ruling ANC party's year-end crunch conference, where Ramaphosa is expected to seek a second term. Zuma, in his first news conference in Johannesburg since he ended his 15-month jail term earlier this month for contempt of court, accused Ramaphosa of corruption and treason. He was reacting to allegations earlier this year that Ramaphosa concealed a multi-million-dollar cash heist at his luxury farmhouse. Far-right leader Giorgia Meloni was sworn in as Italian Prime Minister on Saturday to become the first woman to head a government in Italy. Meloni took the oath before President Sergio Mattarella at the Quirinal Palace in Rome, once home to popes and kings of Italy. Her post-fascist Brothers of Italy party, Eurosceptic and anti-immigration, won the September 25 legislative polls but needed outside support to form a government. Meloni's appointment is a historic event for the Eurozone's third largest economy and for Brothers of Italy, which has never been in government. It won 26% of the vote last month compared to 8% and 9% respectively for her allies Forza Italia and the far-right League. Meloni's list of 24 ministers, including 6 women, revealed a desire to reassure Italy's partners. However, for African migrants like Mustafa Jaju in Palermo, the capital of Sicily, her emergence is frightening as it will create a lot of negative impact on the lives of migrants like Jaju. Liverpool's mini rival came to a crashing halt with a 1-0 defeat at Nottingham Forest, who secured just their second Premier League win for 23 years, thanks to Taiwo Awoniyi's goal. Awoniyi spent 6 years as a Liverpool player without ever making an appearance, as he was farmed out on a series of loan spells, but came back to haunt his former club and move his current employers off the bottom of the table. Liverpool were without the firepower of the injured Darwin Núñez, Diogo Jota and Luis Diaz, and it showed as they lacked the spark needed to unlock a deep-lying Forest defense. The Reds have now already lost more league games in the first 11 matches than in the whole of last season, when they lost out on the title to Manchester City by just a point. But with Thiago Alcantara also missing due to illness, they did not have enough in reserve even to see off a side without a win since August. Former Japan forward Masato Kudo has died aged 32 following brain surgery. Kudo, who was playing for Japanese third-tier club Tegevajaro Miyazaki, fell ill on 2nd October and was diagnosed with hydrocephalus, a buildup of fluid in the ventricles in the brain. Kudo previously played for Kashiwa Reysol, Vancouver Whitecaps, Sanfrecce Hiroshima, and Brisbane Roar. Kudo scored 6 goals in 12 games during Kashiwa Reysol's run to the semi-finals of the Asian Champions League in 2013, and scored twice in 4 appearances for Japan that year. Dillian Whyte will face Jermaine Franklin on 26 November in his first fight since losing to WBC heavyweight champion Tyson Fury earlier this year. The fight will take place at Wembley Arena next to the stadium where Whyte's title bid ended with a 6-round stoppage to fellow Brighton Fury. Whyte, who has won 28 of his 31 professional fights, said it was great to be back doing what he loves doing. American Franklin, 29, is unbeaten since turning professional in 2015. Franklin has a 21-0 record with 14 knockouts, but has not beaten any marquee names. Let's now leave with this feature. With that, we've come to the end of Trust News Hour. Don't forget to follow us across all our media platforms. I am Madina Dauda Nadabo, thanking you for being with us. Do have a great weekend.